Hi, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So, are we failing our elderly? What does that even mean? Well, in researching pensions over the last couple of weeks, just really for myself more than anything, but also I did do a video on the state of the pensions and my fears about not having one when I'm older. A few things came to light, and it also brought up some other costs that I've been blissfully unaware of my entire life that people face in their later years. So, to start off, pensions. We all know pensions are a bit crap. You get about £11,500 a year. It works out as about 960-ish, maybe a little bit more a month. So it's not a fantastic amount to live on. I did come across a table that compared a load of different countries, and it had a baseline, like a break point for break even, i.e. the pension you get is enough to meet the cost of living. There were 18 countries that fared above breakpoint. Number 18 was actually the Czech Republic. Number 15 was the UK, and that was with a pension of around 960 or thereabouts, and a purported cost of living of about £800. Now I know that my cost of living is way above that, way above that. That's basically my mortgage without any other costs. So the UK was number 15, which gave it a percentile break point of 118%. Above us, there were countries like Norway, France, Sweden, Belgium, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, all the usual suspects. There were a few surprises though. Bosnia and Herzegovina was actually number 4. Ukraine is actually right above the UK in number 13. It seems that there are a lot of countries there that you wouldn't have thought should be better off than the UK, but they are. To give you an idea, Luxembourg was number 1. Obviously, it's a bit of a tax haven, but the pension payout there per month was about £5,200, and the cost of living was still only about £850 a month, meaning that the percentile increase above breakpoint was over 600. It was like 633%, something like that, some ridiculous figure. Researching that shocked me a bit. There were countries there that I never expected to see offering better than the UK. So that put things into perspective a little bit. Then my partner came home from work. We had a little chat, and I just casually asked her what the cost of putting a resident in a care home was. And her care home is considered average pretty much across the board. It's an average size. There are about 60 places there. It's average standard of facility, and the cost is considered fairly average, not only for this region, but also for the UK. So yeah, £900 a week. £900 a week. I have to say that with a smile, because I can't believe that it costs more than my mortgage a month to put somebody in a care home for a week. And it made me think, does it really cost that? Or is this an example of prices being overinflated, suppliers overinflating what they're sending the care home so they can make a load of money on it because they know it's guaranteed? Government obviously not funding them as much because they know that people have to pay for their relatives to have care. And how the hell do old people afford it? I mean, unless they've been stashing money away under the stairs or in pillowcases their entire life, I'm almost 100% that the only way that you can afford 45 plus thousand pounds a year to be in care would be to sell your home. And that would probably only give you maybe 3, 4, 5 years in care at best. What do you do after that? It's mental, absolutely mental. So they're either selling their homes to pay for care, they've perhaps got generous family that offer to pay for their care, and other than that, I don't know. And it seems like it's a bit of a failing. It's a failing on people. I mean, we have probably got a few people left in the UK now that actually fought in the Second World War that would have been old enough. I mean, they'd be into their hundreds, but I dare say there were a few left. I mean, these people fought for our freedom and our country and our, like the right to have from a generation that had nothing. Seems like we're kind of failing them, doesn't it? It seems like that the ball hasn't just been dropped, the ball's been kicked into the neighbour's garden, a dog's bitten it and run off, and you're never going to see that ball again. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What do you have in the way of protection against something like this? Have you got a plan? It did make me think. When I was a lot younger, I went travelling. I went to South America, did Southeast Asia, all of the usual places, Thailand, Vietnam, and Brazil, etc. And something that I never really saw anywhere else that I went was multiple, and by multiple I mean like 5 generations of family all living in the same home. And why don't we do that more in the West? I mean, I know people say, yes, in Spain you get grandmothers with their parents and all the rest, but you kind of don't. It's not a massively popular thing. I mean, maybe Italy, Greece, and Spain. There are classic, I guess, kind of stereotype examples that I can think of where that might be applicable. But for the most part, no, you don't get it. You don't see it. I certainly don't see it anywhere around my area in the UK. I don't see it very often anymore abroad. It seems to be a thing that's died off. And I know, obviously, it's massive in South America. When I went to Brazil, as I said, there were 5 generations living in the same household. Genius, because it cuts all the bills massively, because you might have 5, 10, maybe even 12 people paying them. You get a much bigger, much nicer property. You get much more free money left over, much better things, because you've got the free money to be able to buy nicer stuff. And most importantly, you get the ability to give the level of care that you would want your elders to receive. You're not shoving them away in an old people's home, fingers crossed that they get respected and cared for properly. We've all seen cases on the news where that's not been the case. Old people have been beaten, they've been abused in care homes, and these are people in their 70s, 80s and 90s. It's mental. But what's caused this? What's brought this on? How have we let it get this bad as a society? Why have we failed our old people in this way? Let me know in the comments what your experience of this is. I mean, are you in a position where you're paying for your parents to be in care? Are you in a position where they've had to sell their family home, regretfully, to put themselves into care? Or on the other side, are you in a position where in actual fact you have got generations and generations of your family all living in the same place? If so, how's that working out for you? Really interested to find out. I'm really interested to find out how it works, why it works, what the benefits are, what the drawbacks are. Fire it up in the comments and let me know. YouTube's going to pop a video probably up here somewhere. Maybe check that one out. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, and another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.